Hey guys, my name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. Today, the Forgotten Races review rolls right on. We're heading to Bestiary 5 for this video. Today, we're going to talk about the Astomoi. In Greek and Roman mythology, the Astomoi, which literally means mouthless in Greek, were a tribe of hair-covered Indian men without mouths who obtained their nourishment from the scent of aromatic plants. The Greek historian Megasthenes puts the Astomoi tribe near the source of the Ganges River. He describes them as being a race of humanoids with no mouth and a body covered in hair. They dressed in cotton wool and lived only on the air they breathed and the scent they inhaled through their nostrils. They had no need for food or drink except the different odors of roots and flowers and apples and things like this that they would smell and carry with them on longer journeys to ensure that they would always have a supply of food. By the same notion, he states that the Astomoi can be killed by smelling a rather strong, unpleasant smell as well. Pathfinder takes the notion of a mouthless being that doesn't need to eat to sustain itself and runs with it. In Pathfinder, an Astomoi appears to be made out of pure darkness. These guys also have no mouths, but also, Paizo has taken the eyes away from the Astomoi and given them instead powerful minds to sense the world around them, not unlike the Miraluka from Star Wars or blind sense on a dragon. These guys also subsist on nutrients absorbed from the air, and also are more susceptible to powerful smells and inhaled poison, which can render an Astomoi helpless. We don't have a lot of information on these guys, so we're going to dive straight into the racial traits. Astomoi get a +2 to intelligence and a +2 to wisdom, but a -2 to constitution. They're medium creatures with a base speed of 30 feet and begin play speaking common, however, without mouths, they cannot actually speak. Astomoi have telepathy with a range of 100 feet. Astomoi take a -2 penalty on saving throws against disease and inhaled poisons, but they get the scent special ability. Astomoi can't see, but they can mentally sense the area within 60 feet around them as per dark vision. An Astomoi, however, cannot see anything beyond 60 feet. An Astomoi must provide thought components, like a psychic caster, for spells that normally require verbal components like an arcane caster. It can use language-dependent abilities with its telepathy, but not abilities that require audible components. Astomoi do not have a mouth. They do not need to eat or drink to survive. Instead, they absorb the essence of food and drink, which consumes the nutrients of the meal as though it had been eaten, rendering it useless to anyone else. Astomoi consume potions and other ingested materials in the same fashion. Since they never actually eat anything, they cannot be exposed to ingested poisons. So how even do we go about playing a race that can only see out to 60 feet? At first glance, these guys feel kind of unplayable, and that sentiment is echoed across a lot of Paizo forums. However, I completely disagree with that notion. The Astomoi's ability to not see anything beyond 60 feet is identical to the blind curse that oracles get. Yes, it is a hindrance that you can only see out 12 squares, but it's not hard to compensate for this disability. If you want to play your Astomoi as a caster, which is perfectly reasonable given the +2 intelligence, +2 wisdom, things like Fog, Cloud, and Darkness can quickly level the playing field. Wizards also will get a familiar that eventually is intelligent as anybody else in the party, which the Astomoi can use as a rage fighter to locate the bad guys and make sure the bad guys don't get the drop on him. An Astomoi druid can always just polymorph out of this form into something with eyes, and although that's certainly viable, it kind of feels like we're dodging the problem here. In my opinion, the best way to play an Astomoi is the same way we play any character. We play them as a member of a party. We only have dark vision out to 60 feet, but that doesn't mean everybody around us is limited that way. If our Astomoi has a friend in the party, you know how this game usually works, this disability is quickly overcome by somebody telling the Astomoi, hey, there's a bad guy over there, or hey, there's a pit 65 feet ahead. It's also worth mentioning that there's plenty of blind people across the world of movies that function just fine in combat. My favorite of which is 100 Eyes, a monk from the Netflix series Marco Polo. Though he has to work to overcome his blindness, he proves himself to be as competent or more competent of a warrior than most of the people around him. Anybody out there who's played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 will remember Visas Mar, the Miraluka who has no eyes and detects everything around her with the Force. Astomoi aren't much different than that, and Visas Mar made it through the game without falling in a hole and dying, thus the Astomoi can do so as well. It's also relevant to note that Astomoi don't have mouths or eyes, but there's nothing anywhere that says they can't hear, meaning your perception check will reach out past 60 feet. So my final thought on this race, if you're down to play an Astomoi, play that Astomoi however it is you want to. The drawbacks of not being able to see are quickly overcome by things like familiars, other members of the party, and magic items that can help you perceive out past 60 feet. On the surface, an Astomoi seems like a race that is not meant to be played by a player character due to its drawbacks, but if you think they're really that bad, just go talk to the Oracle with the blind curse, and he'll tell you that everything will be fine. So have you ever played one of these guys before? If so, throw it in the comments below and let me know how you did it, because I'm genuinely curious as to how people overcome this race's disability. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. The next race video drops next Monday.